Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Hey, everyone. All right, so Iron Maiden, the Book of Souls live chapter. Now, I haven't covered the Book of Souls album yet, and I really should. I might actually put it on my list for after I'm done this big live batch and after I've gotten past number 500 or just before. Anyways, so this one's going to definitely be done out of order where it should be, especially considering they actually toured this album. The Book of Souls album was heavily toured, was a major part of this set list, to the point where they didn't do too many of the classics, at least not on here. Now, me and my buddies, specifically Drew, who I've mentioned a ton, his brother Matt, we had made so many jokes over the years about Iron Maiden with their live albums. And when we first started making these jokes, Iron Maiden didn't have that many live albums. You had the Live After Death album, you had a real live one, a real dead one. And if you were into the hardcore collecting or into buying special imports, stuff like that, you might have had Made in England, which I did have. Um, 88, the original Made in England 88. You might have had, there's a few other ones that could have been out there. So we started making fun of them because, it seemed like and then it literally got to a point where Iron Maiden was releasing a live album after every studio album. So if you get, I don't remember if they did it with Brave New World, but Dance of Death, I know there was a live album that came out almost right after that. There was Book of Souls got one right afterwards. I think Senjutsu might have got one too. I don't remember. But it really seemed like after every album, they were releasing a live album. And it was kind of like, really? Now, part of that is really cool because that means you get to experience a lot of the live songs from those albums because they were actually touring the albums. In other cases, it was more like a greatest hits tour. So it really depends on which album you go with and whatnot. But the different eras are great that way. And this one in particular is kind of cool. Some of these songs they still play live. To be completely honest, I don't even remember if when I saw them last if they played any songs off of Book of Souls. I don't think they did actually. Anyways, let's get into the track list. So, If Eternity Should Fail, that was a decent way to start up the show, gets it going, no problem. Speed of Light, which was the big single off the album. I really enjoy Speed of Light. I thought it was really cool, really got into it. Then we go into the classic Wrathchild. Believe it or not, this is a Iron Maiden song that I've never understood the popularity of. I've never understood why it's as big as it is. I've never understood why the band loves it the way they do because I've never been a fan of it. Then you got Children of the Damned. Nice. Good tune, man. I was happy to hear that they were using that one live on here, man. Death or Glory is great on here. I really dig Death or Glory. On the album, it's not bad. But on the live, I really, with the crowd pumped and going with it and whatnot, I thought it was really cool. The Red and the Black. Don't mind it. Not another one that works on here because of the way they were doing the set list. You got The Trooper up next. My favorite. Honestly, when it comes to Iron Maiden, I will never ever tire of seeing The Trooper live. Ever. They might tire of playing it. If I were them, I wouldn't tire of playing it, man. That song is fantastic. I get tired playing it, but I wouldn't get tired of playing it. The Trooper is absolutely, I think, one of their greatest songs. To me, it's my favorite song from them. That one and Flight of Icarus are my two favorite. And luckily, the last time I got to see them live, I got to see them do Flight of Icarus, which just thrilled me to the bone. After that, we go into Power Slave. Power Slave is one of those songs that I understand why it's as huge as it is. That is one particular album in general I'm just not overly a huge fan of. Surprises a lot of people. But great tune. Good tune all the way around. Never going to knock it. And live it works. The Great Unknown was fun live. Book of Souls was interesting live, man. I really dug that they pulled that one out. Of course, they're going to play Fear of the Dark. Even when I saw them do. Okay, so I've mentioned this before, so if you've watched all my Iron Maiden reviews in the past, I apologize. Uh, I saw Iron Maiden at the Sarnia Bay Fest with Alice Cooper. Okay, so I got to see Alice Cooper open for Iron Maiden, which for me is a little backwards, but it was okay and it's understandable, and that's fine. The reason I mention this is the first time I got to go see Iron Maiden, but it was also my son and my daughter's first time seeing Iron Maiden, and it was my son's first concert. And watching my son get to headbang out, man, to Iron Maiden, and teaching the other kids how to throw the horns up and how to do it, man, I was such a proud papa that day, man. Oh, now the reason why I bring this up is they were touring, as I previously mentioned, the Made in England album or the Made in England tour, which was the 88 Seven Son of a Seven Son tour. And they were playing that entire tour in its entirety, but they put in one song post that tour, which was Fear of the Dark, because they couldn't go without playing Fear of the Dark. It's one of those songs Maiden has to play. After it got released, Maiden cannot not play Fear of the Dark. So I will never tire of that one either. It's great. But that song has so much in my heart for me. Just Maiden Alive has so much in my heart for me because it's something that I got to experience with both my kids. And there's not too much I get to experience with both my kids and have both my kids love and enjoy it on the same level. That's one of them. It's just like, I saw Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie with my daughter. Got to see my daughter. I've got pictures of my daughter holding Marilyn Manson's hand as Marilyn Manson's touching the crowd because she made sure to get right up at that front barrier with her bestie and whatnot. And that, as a dad, I'm back in the bowl with the seats where I was headbanging that whole show. That was the last show I headbanged the entire show. I can't do it anymore. But that was fantastic, And then with my son, I got to take him to Rammstein, and I got to see him do the same thing at Rammstein. I was with Tracy. We were in the handicap section because she was in a wheelchair at that point because of her bodily injuries. My son's up at the barricade, got the horns up, doing his thing again, man. Oh, proud papa. Raised my kids right. And it started with Iron Maiden. Okay. Speaking of, then we go into the song, Iron Maiden. Great tune, man. The one song from Iron Maiden I have always wanted to play live. Always wanted to play live. And just never quite got the opportunity to do it yet. That one and Running Free, the two Maiden songs I've always wanted to really, truly. Fear of the Dark wouldn't be bad either. And Trooper, nope. Sing It Live, maybe. No, but even then, no. Trooper is just one of those songs, man. That's a rough one. And then we finish off with Number of the Beast. Not the last song. I want to get into the finish off. You can tell we're getting to the Number of the Beast would be where the big, craziness would be going on, the grand finale kind of thing. And then we come back with the encores of Blood Brothers, which is really cool. And then Wasted Years. Wasted Years is number 3. So when I was talking about my list of favorite songs, you get The Trooper, Flight of Icarus, Wasted Years. Those are my 3 favorite Maiden songs. And if you pay attention, you'll notice Adrian Smith features as the writer on 2 of those 3. Okay, so I don't listen to this one that often. And it's just because of the time period that it was released in. The Book of Souls album was a decent album, and I really like the live stuff on here. It really, really promotes it. But it doesn't have the same thing for me that other Maiden albums do. And it's not even because of how new the album is. I love the Dance of Death album. I think the Dance of Death album was fantastic. Even at this point, that's still not that new of an album. It's over 20 years old now. But the post-reunion stuff does have some good stuff in it, some really top-notch stuff. Just, I find that as they're moving along over the years, now they're getting experimental and more experimental, which is kind of a little weird for me. I don't know. Anyways, folks, so do I think you should pick this up? If you're an Iron Maiden fan, you should. If you don't have it already, you really should go pick it up. It's really cool. It's really worth owning, I think. If you are not an Iron Maiden fan, if you're looking to get into Iron Maiden, not the place I'd recommend starting. Cool album, not a great spot to start, though. Other than that, folks, though, those are my thoughts, my views, my opinions. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section is for. On your way down there in the descriptions, you will see a link to the TWA. That is the Trampoline Wrestling Association. It may or may not have started the new season. I don't know when this episode is going to come out date-wise. Check that out. There's a link to the Howling Odyssey. That is where my music endeavors go. And there is a link to Patreon, which is where you can go to subscribe and download stuff. Peace. Love. Take care. Oh, yeah. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications, please, and thank you.